Hello and welcome to the very next episode of Sidequest. I have with me my friend. His name is Hilman
Yo.
Hidayat. Yeah. I've known him since when?
I think it was 2020?
2020.
2020,
Yes. Oh, it's more than. I think it's going 4 years already lah.
Coming to 4 years.
Yeah, we met at work.
But it was a good meetup, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I met Airi, so yeah, this is where we are today.
Yes. Okay. I've known him through work and some of my mutual friends. So he's basically into hobbies. Into hobbies also. And into music.
Yes, sir.
So can you help us to how you started like your hobbies when you were younger?
Okay, before I got into music, it all started back in primary school. So I was it was more of a trial and error. So I was doing different things, trying out different things. It started out with soccer. So as a young boy, I tried to fit in. Everyone was like, especially the Malay boys, I would say.
Yeah,
Not
Malays
to be-
always
not to be
associated with
racist.
Malay.
All right. So a lot of the Malay boys, okay lah, fair enough. All the Malay, Indian, and Chinese boys who tried soccer, kudos. They wanted to play soccer, so I wanted to try to fit in. So I actually signed up for the soccer CCA and I tried. Apparently, I got in. So yep, and we did a few tournaments along the way, and most of the tournaments we actually lost. So I tried not to give up and like persevered again, and again, and then sooner or later I figured out maybe soccer is not my thing. So I actually took a step down and tried something else. So I tried to get into art because I find that art is one of the most delicate things to do in life. Yeah. So I tried painting, bought a lot of things from artwork back then, and then art friend. And then so I started out drawing, doing sketches and everything. Yeah. It all started with sketches, because shows like Art Attack. Yeah. So it gave me some kind of inspiration. So I tried Art Attack. And then try to do whatever Neil did in Art Attack. So it got me into something. Yep. So I tried to draw. I got a lot of compliments and praises from my peers and also my teachers. And then I would safely say that art didn't really died on me until today. So I still love art. But then when I hit secondary school, when I hit primary 5, it was a life-changing moment because I met a lot of friends who were into music. And then, growing up, you have parents who also play music and then they give you inspirations since you were young, like listening to rock music in the car, right? And then when I met those friends who had that common interest, right? And then we were like, okay, what kind of music you listen to? It's like, okay, I listen to 80s and 90s rock music. I was like, okay, that's really something. Of course, back then we were listening to a lot of things that are trendy. All right, the music back then was good. Yeah, hands down, the music was really good. And then, but something about old music, 70s, 80s, and 90s, you name it, has a little more spice to it. I would say, yeah. So it actually, tickles your bone more, I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then bands like, I'll say, okay, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. It all started with those kind of bands. And then slowly we move up, we took it up a notch. We started to listen to heavy metal. All right. And then we played Metallica, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and then so on, etc. We got more into this genre. Yeah. And then at the age of 11, when I was primary 5, we had our first jamming session. Back then there was this studio called X Jamming, which is located at Chinese Garden.
Yeah.
All right. One of the best studios back then, and the price was fairly cheap. It only cost you like $10 an hour.
The one at the shop house, that one, right?
Yes, that's the one,
the
correct.
second floor, the Malay abang.
Yes, sir. Correct. So the owner of the jamming studio changed from time to time, but back then it was a Malay abang. And for us, we didn't have money, so we actually shared our share.
Yeah.
And also because it was convenient for us since all of us live in Jurong back then. So that was probably one of maybe the only nearest jamming studio
Yeah.
that we had. And then, so everything started from there. We started playing music. Of course, the first few sessions were trash. Everyone's like just starting out, like trying to get the sound right as a band together. And then along the way, I would say that we actually, plan like, okay, instead of wasting time in the jamming studio, let's plan out a few songs to jam. Let's try to learn it before we hit the studio. And then I can safely say that we actually did it. Yeah. So the first few songs we learned or we played, right, was songs like Heaven and Hell. But of course, we were trying to play songs that were out of the genre that we like. We tried pop, we tried reggae, if I can remember correctly. Yeah. Pop, anything that was within our time, the music within our time, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we will still kick back to the music that we are all interested in, which is 80s, 90s rock.
Okay.
Yeah. And then up until today, I'm thankful that those group of friends that I met at the very start, until today, I am still with them. Most of them are married. Some of them, are moving on and doing their own stuff in life. They have their own endeavors and everything. But we still do keep in contact. We are still close to each other. We still keep in touch. And from time to time, we do still hit the studio and go for jamming. Yeah.
Not bad eh. Oh, very long intro.
Oh. Is this time for me to go?
Okay. A question that I wanna ask: does your when you were in your younger days, right? You stated that art as your hobby, and you excel on it.
Yep.
Has any part of your art been introduced into your music or not?
Okay. Well, of course, when we had a band, all right, when we hit a certain age, we wanted to start a band, right? And then we came up with a few originals. We hit the studio and do some recordings. And then we wanted to put it up there, all right? And then every release must have an art.
Yeah.
Best to have so, right?
Yes.
So from there, we actually tried different kind of ideas. All of us had different ideas. So I was like, okay, let's all try to illustrate on a paper. And, maybe try to draw something related to the EP. So we all tried, yep. At the end of the day, we all put our sketches on the table. And then we were trying to compare which one is the best. But then we figured, okay, why not we take an idea from each drawing and put it into one. So I would say art is still a big impact in every kind of hobby, I'll say. Yeah, whether you're into music, you're into sports, art will be there somewhere. Yes.
Correct. Wow, very impactful. If you guys don't know, I still have Aviator's tape, which was Hidayat's band at one point of time. Let me show you guys.
Yeah. So Aviator was the first band that we ever released in cassette tape. And yep, we were really proud back then. Aviator was the first band that we actually had released on tape because CDs were a thing, right? And then I think I would say in this trend, a lot of people are releasing in different kinds of platforms. Yeah.
It's still in
Mean condition.
mean
I would say,
condition.
yes.
This was the Invader album, right?
Yes.
How and the art, was it done by you or it's a combination of ideas that you implicate into the album art?
Okay, the idea was brainstormed by the whole band, but the illustration itself was done from my vocalist. Because
Okay.
he was the one who excelled the most in art, I would say.
Okay,
So
okay.
he started drawing on a drawing his art on paper, and then we were like, okay, that's cool. Let's try to go with that. Add in a few colors, and then digitalize this art. Yep. And then we came up with this decision. Yeah.
And also Aviator's logo itself, right?
Yes.
Was it homage to Metallica or from other bands?
You can say that. I think every art has inspiration from somewhere.
Yes.
So inches of the edges
Yeah.
will come from somewhere, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, we have mainly the art, right, was inspired from the crossover thrash metal genre. So we we were trying to go into more of astronomy stuff. So we wanted to have this EP related to something out of the ordinary. So as you can see, we have, don't know if you can see that, we have aliens attacking the city, and then the skull with the invader head is basically the metal head. Yeah, so something out of the ordinary, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, understand. Like, writing music. I tried doing writing music also, but it was crappy.
Yeah, it's okay. We all start somewhere. Yeah. Everyone has those days.
But I think that was at an age of like 20 plus when I tried. Because my influence is more to the modern day rock.
Yeah.
Like metalcore, post hardcore, whereas yours is the 70s and 80s. Yeah. So I think there's a difference between there's a big difference between the metal at that point of time and the metal right now.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a bit heavier. It's a bit like the chords they use is not normally the chugging chord. It's always zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always
Whereas the chords that during the 80s and 70s they use are very colorful. And their solos, their solos is much more how I want to elaborate this. It's much more flair. There's more flair, you know. Like if I were to give an example, like Black Sabbath's Mr. Crowley.
Yeah. That is
Dude,
a great song.
Yeah,
That is.
that song. If you listen and you listen to there's 3 solos. Damn, one song and 3 solos. Normally it's the solos, right? The guitar solos will be at the back.
At the back, yeah.
Yeah, after the bridge or during the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is like 3 solos. Every verse, chorus, then solo. Then after that, verse, chorus, solo again.
I think it was 2 solos, but the second and the third one was combined at the back.
Yes.
It was a longer one.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
My God, it was
Like-
totally a masterpiece.
Yes,
I would say, yeah.
true. It was a really good masterpiece. And I really hats off to the late Randy Rhoads,
Yes, sir.
who did that solo and with his polka dot flying V.
Yeah. I think it was Jackson.
Yeah.
Was it Jackson? I think, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it's the 1979 Jackson or something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But it was so much flair in that song.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was no shortcuts in the solo.
Yeah. And we have to consider back then there was no internet at all.
Yes.
So no inspiration came anywhere.
Yeah.
Everything was straight up from their own brains.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, this kind of thing makes you think back and it's like, wow, how did they do it? For us right now, we have a lot of, we can listen to music easily, just a click away on the internet. You can browse everything on the internet.
Yeah.
Get your inspirations by there. Even with the help of AI technology.
Yes.
Type in, okay, AI, help me do some lyrics. AI will bring everything down for you. But back then, it was totally...
Like you in the
DIY.
dark, yeah, trying to find a flashlight.
Yeah.
But your creativity,
it all
it's-
comes to you.
yeah.
It comes from you, sorry.
and at that point of time, like they were like the pioneers,
Yeah.
of doing all these things. The only thing that they can like look up to is people before them was like what country music.
Country music, yeah. But
Yeah.
actually, those guys back then in the 70s, 80s, they tend to listen a lot of classical music.
Yeah, correct.
Beethoven.
Yes.
So they got inspiration by there. For an instance, Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah.
His one is you can hear a lot of Beethoven in it.
Yeah.
All the chord progressions. It was
The
brilliant.
scales
Yeah, the
they
scales.
use.
It was really brilliant, yeah.
And I really like once in a while you will listen to like those old wouldn't say old music, like the 80s and the 70s, their music. It's when you really compare the now and the then, right?
Yeah.
It was like leaps and bounds,
It's two different
Yeah.
worlds apart. Yeah.
Yeah, and vocals vocal range of the 80s and 90s. Tell you, I if I can sing like that, right, it's like
Wow. I think you would wear your own pants.
Yeah.
Definitely.
you know
Because-
how
yeah.
how high they can get. It's like the high E's,
Yes.
and it's I would say like only girls can hit that notes. But imagine like like crouching your balls
Yes.
just to get that high notes, and it's so impossible for a guy to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we didn't even know how they practiced back then.
Yeah.
Without any help or getting resource anywhere. Like how we have the internet now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
It's like they are already born naturally to do that.
Yeah,
In a way. Yeah.
true. I think it's how creativity starts. Is because maybe like you said just now, like no internet and everything. I mean for now is internet plays a major part in everything.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, because you want to find inspiration. Let me watch this video. What they can do now. If you want to learn guitar, there's everything is there for
Yep.
you. And back then, how do they even like thought of doing this?
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I mentioned. So everything came straight up from their minds. Came up from straight from their hearts. So it is amazing how they can actually come up with that kind of creativity. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, not easy, guys.
We'll just let you guys sink into that. Like how they got ideas back then. Yeah.
Okay. How many bands have you been in and out?
Okay. If it's serious bands, I have been in 3. I have been in
You got
3
you got
serious
play
bands.
bands also.
I have play bands also. It's more like, hey, let's go jamming. You know,
Oh,
that kind
that
of
our
bands.
that one the play band.
Yeah. We even had bands who want to turn serious and then it turns out to be play band. Yeah. So serious bands, I would say 3. Yeah. So the first serious band I had, I guess that was a big impact in my life because that band started out in 2011, where I had my friends in primary 5 from there. And then we got a few more guys in secondary school. So that band continued on and on until the year of 2017, I would say. Yep. And then a lot of us parted ways. No hard feelings because everyone wanted to move on with their lives, which is totally understandable. And then for some of us in the band, we didn't wanted to stop playing music. So we tried to source out for other friends who, had the same interest and then form up another band and then it goes on from there. Yeah.
Okay. So that which band was that? Sorry.
That band was Hexagon.
Hexagon.
Yes, so
okay.
Hexagon started merely in 2011. Yeah.
2000.
No, sorry. 2011. Yes, correct.
No, with Asri, is it?
That one was before Asri.
Oh, that one is
Yeah.
before Asri.
So
okay.
I had a bassist named Juraimi, who is now happily married with a young child, a baby boy. So when Ju decided to part ways from us, we said, okay, you can, there's no hard feelings. You do you. And anytime you want to come back to us, you want to support to us, we are in open arms.
Yeah.
And then that's where we got Asri to cover up this.
Okay.
Because we met Asri back in 2011. So Asri had other bands. And then same thing, we all live in the same area. We all live in Jurong. Then went to gigs together. And then he likes to play the bass back then. So after the withdrawal of Juraimi, we were thinking, it's like, hey, Asri likes to play the bass, but I don't think he's in any kind of active band, so let's try to pull him.
Okay.
And then he immediately agreed, and then we started jamming and the vibe was there straight. We didn't have to do any tweaks on Asri. He had it already.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Then how about Aviators?
Aviator, it all started during ITE. So when I entered ITE, I was 17 back then. That was 2013. Yeah, we entered ITE, met more friends who were into the same kind of music. And then Aviator started off from this CCA that we all joined in, which was called Rock Band Vibes. All right, we were all in the same school, which is ITE College West. Met a lot of good people there who loves playing music up until today. And then Aviator formed from that CCA. We had all the guys from that CCA, tried to jam, and then okay, let's try to play this genre, which is crossover thrash. And then we tried and tried and tried, and then it was like, okay, I think we got this. Let's try out for a gig. We had our first gig was at this place called Platinum Bar. It really looks like some stripper bar, but for us, if we have the opportunity, so why not?
Yeah.
And then
Stripper bar.
I swear to God, yeah. When you come in, you see a lot of stripper poles there, yeah.
Oh, seriously?
And then at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., the strippers will come in. No, not strippers. I would say the in-house dancers.
In-house
In-house
dancers.
yeah.
The exotic dancers.
The exotic dancers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
But-
is it your turn to play? When okay, let's say your gigs. Okay, so there's a timing for the gig and a timing for the exotic dancer.
Yes. So I think for gigs, right, they will have to, of course, speak to the person who is in charge of that location, right?
Yeah.
Or that venue. If you are hosting a gig, they will push back. There are events that are ongoing daily
Yep.
to the time after or before, maybe. Yep. So I'm guessing, I think the gig finished at around 11. And then after that, their business continue as usual. So,
Okay. So the normal customers will
the
come.
normal customers, yeah.
They are
We even
big.
had those normal customers during our gig. So yeah, I was like, wait.
Hey, come dance, dance.
Oh my God.